The Young and the Restless recap for June 26 delivers shocking twists as Nikki completely loses her eyesight, Victor races to secure a surgeon, Diane manipulates Dr. Markham, and Kyle and Jack launch a risky plan to rescue her. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless recap for Friday, June 26. Nikki goes completely blind as Diane manipulates Dr. Markham. Friday's episode of The Young and the Restless, which aired on June 26, 2026, in the US and a day earlier in Canada, delivered several emotional and suspenseful moments. Nikki's condition worsened dramatically, Diane continued deceiving Dr. Markham, and Kyle and Jack put a risky rescue plan into motion. At Society, Lily encountered Nate and Stephanie during lunch and immediately sensed something was wrong. Nate informed her that Nikki had suffered a medical emergency and urgently needed surgery. He explained that a mass pressing on Nikki's optic nerve had put her eyesight in danger and that even surgery carried the risk of permanent blindness. Lily recalled speaking with Nikki recently and remembered that she had been forced to cut their conversation short because she was in pain. Seeing Nate's involvement, Lily assumed the Newmans had sought his expertise due to his knowledge of advanced medical treatments. Nate admitted that he still missed performing surgeries and that moving on after his injury had not been easy. When Lily suggested he could return to medicine one day, Nate insisted he also enjoyed his business career and jokingly asked her not to start looking for a replacement. Stephanie then shared some encouraging news. She had spoken with Dr. Nottingham and convinced her to hand off a previously scheduled operation to another surgeon so she could immediately travel to Genoa City and operate on Nikki. Lily looked at Nate thoughtfully as the conversation ended. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Nikki remained in bed surrounded by her family. Her vision had deteriorated significantly, and she was in severe pain. Victor quietly stepped outside the room, visibly emotional and unwilling to let the children see his tears. Although Nikki tried to persuade everyone to leave, her loved ones refused to abandon her side. They reassured her that they wanted to support her and help her recover. She thanked them for their presence. Victoria stepped out briefly, and Claire followed her. They found Victor in the hallway and questioned whether he was leaving. Victor believed it was better if he stayed away and noted that Nikki did not even know he had been there. Victoria argued that circumstances had changed and that Nikki needed him more than ever. Victor promised that Nikki had his full support and assured them they would get through the crisis together. He hugged both Victoria and Claire and explained that he was going to meet Stephanie Simmons regarding a surgeon for Nikki before promising to return. Nick observed this interaction through Nikki's doorway and then went back into her room. Nikki kept her eyes shut because her failing vision was upsetting her. She encouraged Nick to concentrate on his own recovery and suggested he leave if being in the hospital triggered difficult emotions. Nick refused and jokingly said that if she did not want him there, she should simply say so. Nikki laughed and told him he had the most perfect face in the world. Barely able to see him, she reached out and touched his beard. When Victoria and Claire returned, Nikki asked whether Victor knew she was hospitalized. Victoria admitted she had called him. Nikki was surprised to learn that Victor had already found a surgeon and was actively working to help her. Elsewhere, Kyle was speaking to Harrison on the phone, explaining that not everyone likes snakes or lizards and that he should ask before giving one to a babysitter. Jack arrived and quickly shifted the conversation to a more urgent matter. Jack revealed his intention to break into Dr. Markham's home but needed Kyle's assistance. Kyle objected to Jack putting himself in danger and offered to go instead. Jack refused, saying Diane would never forgive them if Kyle got hurt. The two agreed to work together and rescue Diane. Jack also informed Kyle that Patty had made another threat against Diane. They devised a plan to lure Dr. Markham away from his house. Kyle called him and left a message, pretending to be an angry son who had followed him home and seen Diane through the window despite being told she was at a clinic. He demanded answers and threatened to contact the police. Jack praised Kyle's convincing performance, and Kyle believed that any response from Dr. Markham would confirm Diane was indeed in the house. Inside Dr. Markham's residence, Diane questioned why he had lied about Patty moving into the Abbott home. She found it especially unbelievable that he claimed Jack had requested it. She assumed the bizarre story had originated with Patty. Dr. Markham insisted the information had come directly from Jack. Diane accused him of deliberately saying something cruel to provoke her. She also suspected that he and Patty were working together and concluded she was being held captive. Dr. Markham urged her to accept reality. He explained that he had visited Jack and was following up on their earlier discussion. He described details of the Abbott home, including its interior, eventually convincing Diane that he had truly been there. He also claimed another woman had entered using her key and appeared quite comfortable in the house. Even so, Diane remained skeptical and questioned why Jack would call him if he was supposedly unconcerned about her. Dr. Markham replied that Jack had allowed him to reveal that he did not believe Diane could forgive him. According to Dr. Markham, Jack thought they should move on and had already begun doing so with Patty. Diane broke down in tears and asked how Jack could betray her. However, her inner thoughts revealed she did not believe any of it. Convinced Dr. Markham and Patty were deceiving her, she intentionally staged the emotional reaction. Back at Society, Victor arrived and learned from Nate and Stephanie that Dr. Nottingham had agreed to perform the surgery and would arrive that same day. Victor immediately offered his private jet to transport her and sincerely thanked them for their efforts. Stephanie later confirmed that the surgeon was already on her way to the aircraft. Lily was impressed by how quickly Nate had helped arrange treatment. Nate humbly replied that he had simply done what any doctor would do before quickly correcting himself by saying, "Former doctor." Victor then called Victoria to get an update on Nikki's condition. She informed him that her vision was worsening and that she was receiving pain medication through and for. Victor assured her that the surgeon would reach Genoa City within a few hours and instructed everyone to remain with Nikki until he arrived. Meanwhile, Diane continued her fake emotional collapse. Repeatedly saying, he chose her, she begged Dr. Markham for a sedative. He promised to bring her something mild and left, believing she trusted him. The moment he was gone, Diane relaxed and appeared pleased with how successfully she had manipulated him. Soon afterward, Dr. Markham listened to Kyle's message and became alarmed. He immediately returned the call and agreed to meet. Although he insisted Diane was not in his house and claimed she was in a clinic, Kyle accused him of lying and threatened to involve the police. They agreed to meet at Crimson Lights. When Diane noticed Dr. Markham preparing to leave, he claimed he was merely going to pick up her medication and suggested she spend time in the gym while he was gone. Diane remained in character and said she was beginning to believe she would be better off if she never saw Jack again. At Society, Victor thanked Nate, Stephanie, and Lily once more and asked them to pray for Nikki. Lily related the situation to her father's own loss of vision and his journey learning Braille. Victor admired his resilience and departed. Back at the hospital, Victoria informed Nikki, Nick, and Claire that the surgeon was on her way and that Victor had arranged everything. At Crimson Lights, Kyle expressed his disgust with Dr. Markham and explained his plan to keep him occupied while Jack entered the house. Unbeknownst to them, Patty stood nearby and overheard their entire conversation. Later, Lily, Nate, and Stephanie remarked that they had never seen Victor so vulnerable. Lily observed that his behavior was evidence of true love. The episode ended on a devastating note. Nikki called for her children and asked when the surgeon would arrive. Just as Victor entered the room, Nikki admitted that she had completely lost her eyesight. A preview for next week revealed that Kyle would become concerned after failing to hear from Jack, Diane would tell Dr. Markham she might be developing feelings for him, and Victor would focus on the rings Nikki had returned to him while anxiously awaiting news about her surgery. Lesson: true love, loyalty, and hope in difficult times. Life can change in an instant. One moment everything seems normal, and the next, we may be facing pain, loss, or uncertainty. Nikki's sudden blindness reminds us that no one is immune to hardship. The most important lesson is that difficult times reveal who truly cares about us. Even though Victor and Nikki had their differences, Victor put everything aside to help her. He searched for the best surgeon, stayed concerned, and showed his love through his actions. Real love is not only about words, it is about showing up when someone needs us the most. Another lesson is the power of family and support. Nikki's children refused to leave her side because they understood that sometimes the greatest gift we can give someone is our presence. We may not always be able to solve another person's problems, but we can stand beside them and remind them they are not alone. Finally, this story teaches us never to lose hope. Even when Nikki lost her eyesight completely, people around her continued fighting for her recovery. Life can become dark and uncertain, but hope, love, and faith give us the strength to keep moving forward. Takeaway: in your darkest moments, cherish the people who stand by you, be that person for others, and never stop believing that better days can come. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.